What's more important, diet and exercise? Stay tuned because you might be surprised at the answer. Welcome to the Fabulous Health Show. I'm your host, Terry Chrisman, and I'm a whole foods, plant-based nutritionist. And this podcast is all about helping you obtain optimal health so that you can live a long, happy life and age with grace and vitality. So we're up to episode 27. What is more important, diet or exercise? But before we get into that, let me tell you about this show. It goes live every day at 10 a.m. US Central Time on Facebook and on my YouTube channel, Fabulous Health. If you're on the YouTube channel now, do me a favor, click subscribe, and then you'll know when I get a new episode, and that'll be easy because it comes out every single day. And I'd love for you to subscribe and go back and listen to and watch the other episodes. I also load the audio of this to your favorite podcast platforms. I do that after this live video, and you can check those out at fabuloushealth.net. Just go to the podcast tab and then click on your favorite platform and you can subscribe directly from there. It saves you searching for the podcast in the millions of podcasts around on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Google or wherever it is that you get your podcast. So thank you so much for all the people who've already downloaded and subscribed to the podcast. I really, really appreciate you. Okay, so let's start. Let's always start with science. I love science, so let's start with science. So I'm going to talk to you about a concept. Well, it's not a concept, it's a thing called the basal metabolic rate. And the basal metabolic rate is a measurement of the calories, the energy that you use for living, just being alive. It's the minimal amount of energy required for vital functioning in the waking state. So this is when you have been asleep for a while, you haven't eaten anything for at least 7 hours, and you are in bed and you open your eyes, and that's all you do. And then this is measured by the amount of oxygen you consume in a set period of time. And you can do this. You can go to labs or universities or whatever, and they make you get there first thing in the morning without any stress. So no coffee, no water, no nothing. And they make you lie down and they put a tent over your head, and you just pretty much almost go to sleep and you just chill for about 45 minutes. And then they measure your oxygen consumption. And then they use some calculations, and that will tell them what your basal metabolic rate is. Now, the more muscle mass you have, the higher your basal metabolic rate. So if you're 5 foot and you will have a certain amount of muscle compared to somebody who's 6'5", they will most likely, irrespective of how much fat you have, they will most likely have more muscle mass than you just because of the size of their body, the height of their body. But of course, if you're fit and you've got a lot of muscle, your basal metabolic rate is going to be higher than somebody who is the same height as you and has less muscle mass. Now, your basal metabolic rate will decrease as you get older, because after the age of 60, you lose muscle mass naturally. That concept is called sarcopenia, and sarcopenia is like the worst version of losing muscle mass. And this happens to people in their 80s, 90s, and 100s because they find it very difficult to maintain that muscle mass. And they also, because they're very old, find it difficult to do a lot of exercise required to put on that muscle mass. Plus, because of their age, it's harder to put on muscle mass. So if you remember, when you're in your 20s, all you had to do is go to the gym like twice a week and you'd build that muscle mass really easily because your body still liked growth. When you're in your 70s, 80s, and 90s, your body doesn't care about growth. It just wants to keep you alive. Okay, so let's talk about a person, and I'm going to use me as an example because I know how much I weigh. I know how much muscle mass I have. I know my body fat percentage. So I did some calculations. I didn't go in the tent. I have been in the tent, but I didn't go in the tent yesterday. So I just used calculations in my sports science book that I got at university, and my basal metabolic rate is about 1,400 calories. So what that means is if I was in bed watching TV all day, doing nothing, I would burn 1,400 calories in a 24-hour period. So I know that if I want to walk around the house, walk the dogs, exercise, go for a jog, whatever, I need to eat more than 1,400 calories or I don't have enough energy to do the things of daily living, all the things I want to do. So to work out how many calories you need per day, you have what's called a physical activity level. And again, you can look up this on the internet. You can get your science books out and work this out. But this is just kind of general information for you. So, and the physical activity level is measured in METs. And 1 MET is a multiple of your resting metabolic rate in minutes. So, for example, if my basal, I'm going to change my basal metabolic rate to 1,440 calories, and I'll tell you why in a minute because it makes calculations so much easier. So let's assume my basal metabolic rate was 1,400 calories. So that's over 24 hours. That means I am burning 60 calories an hour or 1 calorie a minute just hanging around. See why I changed it to 1,440? Because 1 calorie a minute is really easy to multiply. Now, if I went for a walk, I might be walking at 3 METs. So if I went for a 30-minute walk at 3 METs, I'm going to be burning 3 calories a minute because 3 METs, 1 calorie a minute. If I walk at 3 METs, I'm going to be burning 3 calories a minute for 30 minutes. So that's 90 calories. Now, if I went for a jog, maybe I'm burning 5 METs or 6 METs or 7 METs. Can you see where I'm coming from? So burning calories is actually pretty hard compared to sitting around on your butt doing nothing. But you can't sit around on your butt doing nothing because it's the exercise that keeps you healthy. So let's say I want to eat 2,000 calories a day. Where am I burning them? So I'm burning 1,440 staying alive, and then I'm burning 560 exercising. So most of the food that you eat is there to keep you alive. Now, if I went to the gym or a big jog for an hour or I was hardcore exercising, I'm only going to burn about 500 or 600 calories an hour. Strenuous exercise. And I know a lot of you don't want to do strenuous exercise. You say, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to jog for an hour. My joints hurt. I can't do that. So you really need to get lots of short amounts of easier exercise into your day so that you can burn those calories and keep your cardiovascular system healthy. So let's say you ate a jam donut. A jam donut's got about 300 calories. You would need to go for a walk for 80 minutes or ride your bike for 45 minutes or go for a jog for 35 minutes or swim laps for 25 minutes just to get rid of that donut. So now you think, well, do I really want to eat the donut? Because you don't have a lot of room in the calorie equation for excess things like jammy donuts. For example, last night I went to the NBA. NBA, if you don't know, stands for the National Basketball Association, and that's the big basketball competition in America if you're not living in America. I went to the NBA and went to the concession stand. What could I buy? Water, because that was the only thing there. Actually, I lie. I did find a concession stand that had a fruit cup, so that was fantastic. But the little packet of chips, the fries, it was tiny. It wasn't mega chips like usual. It was tiny. And on the sign, it said 690 calories. So basically, you would need to be on that basketball court with those elite basketball players playing basketball for over an hour, sweating buckets just to burn those chips. Now remember, actually don't remember, you probably don't even know this. 1 pound of fat has 3,500 calories. So there is a scientific concept, and a lot of people believe this. It doesn't actually work in real life, but in science, 3,500 calories for a pound of fat. So the idea is that to burn a pound of fat, you need to burn off 3,500 calories. So you would need to be exercising every single day for at least an hour to burn a pound of fat per week. But the problem is your body is smart. It's very smart. Once it sees you burning the fat, it says, oh, I've got less fat now. Maybe I need to slow down my metabolism a little bit and be more efficient with the burning of fat. And your body will adapt and it will burn less calories the more you work out. What? Okay, that's very confusing. And if you're not a sports scientist, maybe I just blew your head off. That will be another podcast, I promise you. But what happens is you can lose weight by eating less and less calories. But then your body says, hang on a minute, I'm not getting enough nutrients. So therefore, I'm going to hang on to this fat. Plus, I'm lighter, so I don't need so many calories. And I'm going to be more efficient at burning them. In fact, when I ran my last marathon, I was so good at running that I didn't lose any weight at all. In fact, I overfueled and I actually put on like 2 or 3 kilos running a dang marathon. And it's not just running the marathon for 4 hours on one day. It's the 20 weeks of running that led me to be able to run the marathon. And my body had adapted. So it wasn't burning hardly any fat when I was running So don't be confused and don't be cheated on the fact that if you eat less, you are going to weigh less. So how do you fix this problematic equation? You want to eat a whole foods plant-based diet, lots and lots of nutrients, low calories, and then your body will go, ooh, this is good. I'm getting all these nutrients and I don't need this fat, so I'll just burn a bit of fat and she'll be right, mate. And you'll find that your body will get to that point where there's a balance of equilibrium. It's called homeostasis. It's fabulous. And then you will be a healthy person. So what's the answer to the question? What's more important, diet or exercise? Well, I've got bad news for you. The question is, both. You need to do both. You need to clean up your diet, stay away from those fries and donuts, and do exercise for your health. And then you'll be the best version of yourself. So I hope this was helpful to you today. If you need if you have any questions, you want to make some comments, do so under the video or reach out to me at fabuloushealth.net. And if you really like what I'm doing, go to my website, watch all the other podcasts. And if you really want to take your health to the next level, check out my online course. It's called The Quick Road to Fabulous Weight Loss. And you can use the promo code podcast for 50% off. Now, I just want to let you know that promo code is only available during October 2021. Next month in November, I'm going to have a different promo code and it won't be as good. So if you want to get in on that, you've only got a few days. So anyway, see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And you guys have a fabulous day. See you later.